Are job descriptions just another one of those HR for HR's sake things? I don't think so. I actually think these are really important, and in this video I'm going to tell you exactly why. Hello, my name is Jenefer, I'm the founder of Silk Helix, and we help small businesses with all things HR, people management and employment law. So what is the point of job descriptions? Well, they tend to form two purposes. One is in recruitment, in being able to know who you're trying to attract and what you're trying to attract them to. And the other is in performance management. And both of these can go really wrong when the job description is badly written. So I do see has anyone got a job description for an administrator type posts on Facebook where you just know that those job descriptions are never going to be worthwhile. They're not going to benefit the organisation. There is no standard job description that is going to fit all jobs in all companies. It has to be really specific. And this is crucial both for recruitment and performance management, because it's about what is this job in this business. And we know that job titles don't really mean much these days. They vary from organisation to organisation. Often when we're advertising jobs, we're having to think about job titles for SEO purposes and making sure that the job is searchable and that the right people are going to find it, whereas we may have a different internal job title that we use. So the job description is really telling people what it is we're expecting them to do. If we look at, let's say, a job of a social media manager, in one company, that's going to be the manager of a team. They're going to have teams looking after different elements of social media, doing different tasks. In another, that's going to be a standalone job with one person doing everything and probably doing the wider marketing as well as the social media stuff. So the job description's got to be really specific. And the job description as a document then should really be telling us what it is that we expect of people so that we can then use it in performance management. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that we're going into really specific tasks. So for example, social media manager, we don't necessarily want the job description to say you'll be posting on Facebook 5 times a day, because that's going to be a strategy and you may find that that strategy changes, and particularly in the world of social media where things change very, very quickly. But actually for many jobs, things change quickly and the specifics of how we do something can change quite quickly. So what we might be looking at more so is a wider context. So what is it we're looking to achieve from those posts on Facebook? What it is that we're trying to attract to the business? What are the outcomes? How are we going to measure whether or not this person is doing what it is we expect them to be doing? Do we want them building the strategy, or is somebody going to come along and tell them exactly what to do, how to do it and when to do it? And that's where your job description needs to be quite specific. You also need your job description to look at the kind of non-task things. So do they need to communicate with people in other departments, for example? Or are you looking at somebody who is customer facing and therefore we're wanting somebody who's got very positive interactions with customers, and we want to describe some of those behaviours as well? So our job description needs to be really specific to those things. And if it's not, then yeah, it's just another HR for HR's sake document. It's meaningless if it doesn't really tell people what is expected of them in the role or what they're going to expect when they come to join the company. It's just meaningless. It's not going to help anybody. So it's got to be something that is functional and reviewed on a regular basis, because things do change. And we often find that a job description will get reviewed at the point of recruitment and then never get touched again. We also find that job descriptions just get put out as job adverts. So job description is not a job advert, it's a job description. A job advert is to stop the scroll and attract somebody into applying for the role or wanting to find out the details of the role, which is the job description. So you do need to make sure as well that you're using them in the right way, rather than just going, oh, we've got a job description, oh, let's shove that out there, that'll be a job advert, let me throw that at you, yeah, your annual appraisal, oh yeah, that, just look at that job description, oh no, we haven't reviewed it for 5 years, it's all right, we'll just check off what it is you're doing against that. No, this needs to be something that's reviewed as part of that process, that's looked at, and that we lift from it to say, okay, so take social media manager example again, your role may be to increase company visibility, to attract in clients through social media. You may then have specific objectives from that, which is, for example, we will measure this by saying that you've put out so many posts or you've attracted so many clients in. And what does that mean? Have they people that have contacted us via a contact form? Is it the number of those that are then good quality and converting? What is it that are our key performance indicators that tell us that somebody is actually achieving the things on the job description? So the job description is kind of a core. It's there to really set the scene for what's expected of somebody and what they can be expected to be doing in the role. And both in terms of the recruitment process and is this a role for me? Is it too wide? Is it too narrow? Is it the sorts of things I want to be doing? And also when I'm in the role, what's expected of me? What's my job going to look like? And then hopefully we've got a step on from that, which is that actually these are the measures that at the moment we're looking at. So based on the current climate, for example, these are the sales figures or that we're expecting, or these are what marketing we're looking at doing, or those are the sorts of things that you'd be putting as a layer on top. But for me, that job description is so important because if we've not got clear expectations written down, if we're not clear with people about what the job is and what we're expecting of them, we're going to recruit the wrong people. We're going to have people who are not performing. They're not going to be able to achieve because they don't know what they're achieving. You're going to get frustrated because they're not achieving. They're going to get frustrated because they don't know what they should be achieving. These things have got to be really clear, and that kind of sounds draconian. It sounds, oh, it's HR again. This particular one, it's not, and I've got a lot of videos on things to stop doing when it comes to HRs for HR's sake, but job descriptions is not one of them. But do lift them up from just really basic tasks to actually your role is to achieve this for the organisation, and as part of that include things like the softer skills around leadership, teamwork, communication, because we can find people who hit all the targets but they are toxic, damaging to the team because they don't work well in the team. But when we come to performance management, actually we've set everything based on tasks and they are brilliant at that, just that they impact everyone else achieving theirs. So the job description's really got to encompass all of those things to be worthwhile. So if you're going to do it properly, it is absolutely core and an absolutely worthwhile document. If you're not going to bother doing it properly, I would just give up and not bother having one. But it's going to cause you problems on the performance management. To find out more about performance management, we've got our digital course on performance management, details in the description. And don't forget to hit subscribe and the notification bell so that you don't miss a single one of our videos.